On the open plains, it starts as a deceptive, almost playful dance. You see the African painted dogs, the ghosts of the savannah, moving with a fluid, rhythmic grace. To the untrained eye, it looks like a friendly gathering, but in this wilderness, friendly is a word that doesn't exist. These two species are ancient rivals, and the air is about to turn electric. The movement shifts. What looked like a stroll becomes a calculated high-speed rotation. They are forming a circle, their mottled coats blending into a kaleidoscopic blur. But why this level of aggression? Why would a pack of dogs, usually wary of big cats, decide to surround a single, dominant lioness? If you want to know the dark secret behind this grudge, comment yes below. The dynamic has shifted. This isn't a pack of dogs surrounding a cat anymore. This is a single lion, a golden streak of pure aggression, breaking the stalemate with a frantic burst of speed. Imagine a 500-pound muscle car igniting on a dirt track. This lion isn't waiting for the circle to close, he is shattering it. He picks a target, one painted dog that lingered a second too long, and launches. It is a terrifying display of raw, explosive power that turns the hunters into the hunted in a heartbeat. This isn't like chasing a skittish impala. An antelope runs to survive. These dogs run to maneuver. The lion is a blur of tan and fury, his heavy paws thumping the earth like a drum beat. He knows he can't match the dogs for miles, so he pours everything into this initial strike. The painted dogs scatter like dry leaves in a storm, their high-pitched yaps turning into silent, desperate lunges for safety. But the dogs are masters of the long game. Even as the lion bursts forward, they don't just flee, they split. They turn the chase into a labyrinth. The lion is burning through his oxygen, his massive heart pumping at its limit, while the dogs lead him deeper into the scrub. It's a high-speed chess match played at 40 miles per hour. The lion is betting everything on a crushing blow in the first 30 seconds. If he misses, he's stranded in the heat, exhausted and surrounded by a pack that never gets tired. The dust is rising so thick you can't see the finish line. Is the lion about to claim a trophy, or is he sprinting straight into an ambush? The lead lioness is a heat-seeking missile. She closes the distance with a terrifying mechanical efficiency, and then she strikes. A powerful left swing of her claws connects with a sickening thud, flipping one of the painted dogs mid-air and slamming it into the dust. In a blur of golden fur, she is on top of him. Her teeth snap shut with a jaw-dropping force, pinning the dog to the scorched earth. The savannah, the wind, the entire frantic chase, it all holds its breath. It's a cinematic freeze frame, a moment of pure, raw tension where every eye is locked on the dirt to see the next line of action. The dog is thrashing in. Serious pain, its ribs groaning under the weight of 500 pounds of apex predator. To any observer, this is the end. The lioness has won. Limp. It's a masterclass in deception. The dog's muscles turn to water. Its breathing becomes a ghost. Her grip loosening for just a fraction of a second as she prepares to scan the horizon for the rest of the pack. That is the only window the dog needs. With a frantic spring, the corpse explodes back to life. The dog bolts from under the lioness's paws like a coiled spring released from a trap. It is a desperate, adrenaline-fueled dash for the high grass. The lions are relentless. They don't take kindly to being made fools of. As the first dog vanishes into the brush, another lioness closes the gap on a nearby straggler. She strikes with a powerful swing of her claws, the air whistling as her talons rake the space where the dog's spine was just a millisecond before. She misses, but she doesn't break her stride. She doesn't get frustrated. She circles forward with a cold, mechanical hunger. With a quick pulse of energy and a quick rebound, the lioness pivots. She's learned. She isn't looking for a struggle anymore. She's looking for the kill. She traps another dog against a fallen acacia trunk, cutting off its exit. This time, there is no trick. This time, it is a death sentence. There is no loosening of the grip. There is no pause for breath. With a metabolic surgical voltage, she applies a pressure that the dog's anatomy simply cannot withstand. It's a precise, overwhelming force that ends the conversation instantly. There is no second chance. The rest of the pack stops. The yapping dies in their throats. They watch from the tall grass in utter horror as their brother is silenced. In that moment, you can feel the shift. The playful skirmish is over. The battle line has been drawn in the red dust of the African soil. The savannah goes still for the second time today. The lioness stands over her prize, her eyes scanning the golden horizon, challenging any dog to come closer. She has sent a message that resonates through the grass. Deception might work once, but the king's patience is a finite resource. The silence is heavy, pregnant with the realization that the cost of this rivalry has just been paid in full. The savannah has a long memory, and today, that memory is fueled by a thirst for vengeance. Two days have passed since the blood was spilled, but the air near the waterhole is thick with a different kind of tension. The animals aren't here for a drink. The water is glassy and undisturbed, but the land around it is a powder keg. It starts with a scattered circle. This isn't the tight, claustrophobic grip of a predator on prey. It's the type of formation that gives you just enough space to bolt, except you dare not move. The African painted dogs have identified her. They didn't forget. They didn't move on. She is the one who ended their brother, and in the wild, that is a debt that must be settled in kind. They aren't hunting for a meal. They are here to execute. The circle begins to tighten. The coordination is chilling. 3 wild dogs begin the dance, faking in with a snap of teeth, then faking out with a spring of their mottled bodies. They are bouncing around her like jagged lightning, testing her reflexes, draining her focus. They are trying to find the one chink in her golden armor. V, you don't expect a lioness to just sit and watch her own funeral being planned. She isn't a passive observer, she is a warrior. Her tail is lashing like a whip, and her ears are pinned so tight they disappear into her skull. She knows the game. Every time a dog fakes in, she doesn't just flinch, she rebounds. She meets their bounces with a low-frequency growl that ripples the surface of the waterhole behind her. The standoff has reached its boiling point. The dogs are gambling their lives on their speed, and the lioness is gambling hers on a single, bone-crushing strike. The space between them is shrinking with every heartbeat, and the open plains are starting to feel very, very small. The lioness can only take so much taunting. She lunges forward, a mountain of muscle exploding toward the nearest dog, trapping it under the sheer weight of her fury. But she's made a tactical error. This isn't a hunt, it is a vendetta. The moment she commits to that one dog, the floodgates open. The rest of the pack doesn't scatter, they rush in. It is a chaotic, blurring smash of mottled fur and snapping jaws. They are hitting her from every blind spot, teeth cracking against her hide with the sound of dry wood snapping. They aren't just nipping, they are clamping. The sheer volume of the assault is overwhelming. The lioness, the apex of the plains, is being physically pushed down. For the first time, things are looking very, very bad for the queen. She is forced to sit on the dirt, her rear guarded by the ground, but her front is a battlefield. Dust erupts in choking clouds, turning the sunlight into a hazy, orange nightmare. The circle is so tight, here isn't a single inch of space for her to maneuver. Every time she swings a paw, 3 more sets of jaws lock onto her shoulders, her neck, and her ears. The dogs are vibrating with a full rage of anger, their high-pitched chirps replaced by a guttural, focused snarl. If this continues, the unthinkable might happen. She is being eaten alive by 1,000 small cuts. Do wild dogs have a record of killing lions? Short answer, it's extremely rare, but yes. The here are documented cases, usually involving a lone, exhausted, or injured lion being overwhelmed by the relentless endurance and numbers of a large pack. The lioness is sitting in the dust, her breath coming in ragged gasps, as the painted ghosts try to turn a rare statistic into a reality. She is fighting for her life in a hole she didn't dig, surrounded by an enemy that has forgotten how to be afraid.